fuck's sake. I mean, this is the part you never see on YouTube videos, right? Cleaning the fucking mess. I mean, at least I'm not smashing plates like Logan Paul. I'm not this fucking retarded. Content. Oh, it wasn't even in a fucking shot. And I have to clean this fucking fuck me, mate. I fucking hate my life, basically. What is up, everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic day and welcome to Just Saying channel. So first of all, let's address the elephant in the room, right? No, it's not a fat joke, you fucking cunts. Fucking hell. You're fat shaming. I'm talking about me disappearing for a month and not uploading, and basically I'm putting the blame on my uni. Like fucking hell, the mid-year exams were ridiculous. But since it's all done, pass it with flying colors, you know how we do, I can finally focus on YouTube now. I'm gonna try, alright? Allow me. So what better way to get back on track than to make a video about something that could potentially make a lot of people angry, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about being a stan. First of all, like, being a diehard fan or being a stan is quite a strange concept to me because I've never had this kind of mentality. Honestly, even when I was a kid, I don't even remember if I had someone I would look up to so much and idolize. I mean, maybe it's because of my natural tendency to be a cold-hearted cunt. I mean, let's not get into that, right? I'm gonna leave it for my next therapy session. Okay, can we all just agree on one basic rule? Being a diehard fan to the point where you cannot see if your idol is doing something stupid or maybe even illegal. It's not the best mindset to have. It just isn't. For example, right, I was really interested in this whole situation about Michael Jackson documentary, Leaving Neverland. And I've got to say that I find the reaction of the public absolutely fucking stupid. Can we all just agree that Michael Jackson wasn't a normal bloke? He was a really strange Donny. Okay, even if you don't believe he was fucking those kids, right? The fact is, he was sleeping in the same bed as them for fucking months. It's not a normal behavior, isn't it? It just isn't. Fucking hell. And also, even if you don't believe he was sexually abusing those kids, doesn't it just feel weird? One allegation in. Like, maybe parents sued him for the money. Right, okay, I get it. But 5 allegations in, when he was alive, and now more people are coming out, it just looks suspicious. At least, can we all agree that it looks a bit fucking weird? When there are multiple allegations, maybe, like, at least think about it? Like, at least think about it. And also, seeing all those Michael Jackson stans attacking this dude Wade is fucking disgusting, in my opinion. I get it. Like, Michael Jackson fans might be right. Maybe this Wade guy is doing it for the money. Okay, but what if he isn't? What if these guys are wrong and he was actually sexually abused by Michael Jackson? Like, what happens then? Are you really that sure of Michael's innocence that you would risk well-being, mental health, maybe even possible suicide attempt from a possible victim of a child abuse just to protect the good name of some guy who made good music 30 years ago? Is Michael's reputation really that important to you? Is it really that important that you cannot stop for like fucking minute and think about what might be the consequences of your actions? Newsflash, it's not that important. And I think this is the main problem I see with this whole stan mentality. Over-validating everything connected to a certain individual. I mean, in that moment we've got to be honest and say the harsh truth that no celebrity, no sports team, no YouTuber, no fucking nobody is that important. Like nobody. I mean, maybe your mom, your dad, your sister, your best friend, but a celebrity? Not Michael Jackson, not BTS, not Ariana Grande. They are just humans. And humans fuck up. Like, of course, they make some dope music. But, let's be honest, I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly was a fucking banger. And he was an all-around cunt. And honestly, I cannot really understand why people are calling themselves stans. Like, surely, this should be an insult. I'm starting to think that most of these people don't even know what stan means. So let's take a quick rap history lesson. So in the year 2000, Eminem wrote a song called Stan, where Marshall Mathers implemented elements of storytelling about his experience with a certain fan. The song was about a guy who was obsessed with Eminem, wrote him letters, dressed up like him, did everything to be exactly like him. And honestly, this is a rather sad story, because, spoiler alert, Stan decides to not only kill himself by driving a car off a bridge, but also his pregnant wife. This dude had something similar to the borderline personality disorder, with the tragic consequences of his actions. So as you can see, this is not a kind of person you should take pride to be like. Stan was obsessive and mentally unstable. So calling yourself a Stan, well, I mean, the toxicity of this whole situation is in the name. Like, overall, I think it's good to have an idol. I think it's healthy to be a fan. But there are limits to that. And now I want to talk about something that is really fundamental when talking about stan mentality. And that is authority. And I'm not talking about this form of authority like the police or the president or some other cunts like that. I'm talking about like the informal kind of authority that the celebs are having over us, peasants. I mean, they have all the attributes to be exactly that. Like, they have money, personal achievements, charisma, fucking social status. Let's remember how much power this kind of authority actually have. And in 1963, there was a social psychology experiment created by Stanley Milgram just to see how much power does the authority figures have over us. Basically, Milgram saw the Nuremberg trials and was really fascinated by one particular thing. All of those Nazis who contributed to millions of deaths all around the globe felt innocent, and all because they said they were just following orders. At first you might think, well, it's not an excuse, they could always say no, and they should know better what to do. They were adults, right? Well, after hearing about Milgram's experiment, you will see that it's not that simple. Just a quick disclaimer, right? I'm not saying that the celebs are like Hitler and their stans are like Nazis, right? I'm not saying that. I could, but I'm not gonna. I mean, I could, but you know, I will never do such a thing, right? I mean, I could, but no. Okay, going back to the experiment, and I promise I would try to make it short. The whole idea of it was, how far can we push other people when they are influenced by an authority? The scenario was this. There was a guy in a chair, and his job was to quickly learn some sequences of information. Then he would be tested if he remembers all those sequences. And every time he gets something wrong, he gets shocked, right? I mean, it was the 60s. And every time he gets shocked, the next shock is even stronger. So we pump up the voltage, and potentially we could go to the voltage where we could maybe kill someone, right? Ethics were a bit different back then. But the thing is, the guy in the chair is not the one we are interested in. There was another person in a room behind the controls who was meant to electrocute the guy in the chair. And the one with the power to electrocute is the one we look at. By the way, the guy in the chair yeah, he was never shocked, right? He was never electrocuted. He was an actor hired to just act like he was getting shocked. I mean, it's a part of the experiment, you will understand. So a random person walks into the room and his first job is to teach the guy in the chair a specific sequence of information and then test him about it. He was told that this experiment was really about just seeing if electroshocks can improve learning skills or some other bullshit like that. But basically, this random person would shock this actor in the chair every time he would get something wrong. But standing over the person pushing buttons, there was actually a scientist wearing a grey doctor's coat. The last part is actually very important. So it basically went like this, right? The guy in the chair gets something wrong on purpose and he gets shocked. And every time he would get something wrong, they would pump up the voltage just to hurt him more. After a while, the guy in control to shock the other one would pussy out, I mean rightly so, and say something like, "Nah mate, I'm not gonna do this anymore. This dude is in pain." But the strong alpha male in the room with the grey doctor's coat would always say something like, "Nah mate, continue. It's really important for the experiment." So he did. And also in the later variations of the experiment, the guy in the chair would say something like he has a heart problem, so basically more electroshocks would fucking kill him. But the scientist would always say to continue and that it's really important for the experiment, and the guy in control would fucking continue. And sometimes the voltage would go so up high that the guy in the chair would fucking die. Or at least he just pretended he died, right? He was an actor. But the person with the control to shock him thought he was dead. So that person thought he killed someone. It's a fucking mental experiment, you know. And also bear in mind one very important thing, right? The guy in control to shock the other one was explicitly told that he could walk out of the room and stop the experiment anytime he would want. So basically, he could just walk out and nobody would stop him. But some people stayed and went to the extreme of killing another person. And all of this just because of the authority of a guy in grey doctor's coat who told him to continue. Before the experiment happens, other scientists predicted that the percentage of people who would go to the extreme, to the fatal amount of voltage, would be around 0.1%, 0.1%, because they would say, well, maybe there will be some sociopaths or psychopaths. Fucking hell, they were wrong. About 65% of people went all in and shocked the guy in a chair with 450 volts. That's more than enough to kill another person. And nothing was wrong with them. They weren't sociopaths nor bad people. After the experiment, they all said that this was the worst experience of their lives. And also they tried to cheat during the experiment. They tried to pipe down the fucking voltage so it wouldn't hurt this person in the chair. So for people in control to shock the other one, it was a traumatic experience. But they did it. Why? Well, the guy standing over them, the guy, you know, in a grey doctor's coat, seemed like he knew what he was doing. So they were just following orders. This is kind of how I see this whole fucking stunt mentality. Extreme obedience to the authority. I mean, of course, the natural reaction would be to say, but Ariana Grande would never told us to fucking kill somebody or jump off a bridge. Well, I give you that, it's a valid argument. Maybe she wouldn't. But if she would ask directly her stance to do something immoral, illegal, or dangerous, I bet that the amount of people that would do it, the percentage of people that would agree to do something like that, would be in double figures. No doubt about that. I mean, it's not like it never happened before, right? When Michael Jackson asked the parents, who were his die-hard fans, to leave their kids with him for fucking months, also knowing he was accused of child abuse, of sexual abuse, right? And knowing that Michael and their kid would sleep in their fucking same bed. And knowing all of that, they would always say yes. I mean, just saying.
Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online, my city don't show me no love and that's fine. Fuck local radio stations, I got more plays than all of these rappers combined. I'm going again, I've been going in, I'm fed up with so many things. I gotta just let it all out, I'm talking about the shit they've been talking about.